Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in the Middle East on his 7th diplomatic trip since the war in Israel began. Just hours ago, he touched down in Saudi Arabia, where he will meet with leaders from 5 different Arab states to figure out who's going to govern Gaza after this war comes to an end, whenever that will be. So tomorrow, he will travel to Israel to meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss ceasefire and hostage release efforts, along with humanitarian efforts for Gaza. NewsNation's Robert Sherman is live in Tel Aviv. Robert, a lot on the line here. Just how critical are these discussions today and in the coming days?
Well, about as critical as it gets, Markie, as the Secretary of State returns to the Middle East. The stakes are high because Israel says that this is effectively the last chance they are giving Hamas to put together a deal and find some kind of an agreement. If they don't, the Israelis have made clear that the next step would be a ground operation in Rafah. So as a result, you have seen a lot of pressure being placed on all different parties here as mediators work around the clock in order to try and get something done. Israel putting the pressure on the Israelis. This is their top brass over the weekend, approving a plan to continue the war in the south. What that effectively means, Markie, they're ready to go if Hamas does not put together an agreement or accept any kind of a proposal that gets something across the finish line here. But on the other hand, Hamas is putting out propaganda video of 3 different hostages in the last week, 2 of them American Israelis. The videos come directly from Hamas, so to be clear, we don't know the circumstances surrounding their filming or what kind of influence was placed over the words, but all 3 hostages in those videos call on the Israeli government to cut a deal to broker their freedom. The family of American Israeli Keith Siegel saying this.
Seeing my father today only emphasizes to all of us how much we must reach a deal as soon as possible and bring everyone home. I demand that the leaders of this country watch this video and see their father crying out for help.
Hamas is still mulling that proposal, as we've heard that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Biden had a phone call conversation Sunday night in which they discussed about the prospects of a hostage deal, but also the president emphasizing he does not want to see the Israelis go into Rafah. The U.S. and many of Israel's other allies have serious concerns about the humanitarian situation there. Israel's position is that leaving Hamas standing in Gaza represents a major national security threat to them. And they've reiterated in the last couple of days the only thing that could change their timeline or thought process on an operation in Rafah is a hostage deal.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.